What's happening? I'm back for another video. Can you believe it? June 7th, 2015, I made my first video in the vinyl community. 10 years ago today. So we have a little celebration. And I'm going to do a response video to Hog's Ear Report. He showed some local Arizona bands, and Michael from Near Wild Heaven also did one from Ohio. So I'm going to do one from Michigan. Right now we're listening to Call Heroes. This is one of those American Lost punk rock nuggets. Where is it? Volume 80. You can see it down there. Oh, right there. But yeah, Hiawatha right here. Used to work for the Stooges, MC5, all the bands back then. They ended up playing with the Ramones, Oingo Boingo, Joan Jett, Dead Boys, Johnny Thunders. Really good album. Basically a comp. But so I have a pile here of some albums I picked out that aren't so people aren't familiar with them, I guess you could say. And this first one from 2010 is the Menthols, Michigan Works, UFO Dictator Records, number 79 of 400. At 400 black, and then there was 100 green copies. But this is a punk and pure rock and roll band out of Kalamazoo, Michigan, which is over on the West Coast. They had 2 albums, which I have their other album, and 2 singles. But it's pretty good, straight up punk and rock and roll. And it came with this insert. Band, and a little bit of bio info on the back, and there's the label. Anyway, here's the back. If I didn't show it, it's got the number down at the bottom. I wanted to do needle drops on these, but it just takes too long, and I got a stack here, so maybe when I figure out my system again and do a live stream, I can play some of this stuff. Alright, this next one is Angry Red Planet, Little Pigs, from 1987. This is a hardcore punk out of Detroit. They had 2 albums and 2 singles. Pretty good album. This is number 88 of 1,000, and numbered. It's on Angry Red Records. I don't know if this one had. No. Yes, it is. Here's the insert for that one. And here's the label. It's pretty good. Pretty good record. Alright. Probably the worst cover art I've ever seen. This is ICU from 1983. This is a new wave synth pop out of Detroit. They had 1 album, 1 single. You can see the band back here. And they have a song on here, and I think they're really proud of it. Walking in Shadows. It's very, if you hear it, you'll understand that it sounds like Gary Newman type music, if you know Gary Newman. But they have this song on here, Walking in Shadows, 3 times. So they have the main one, the regular version, on side 1. And side 2, they have the second mix. And then they have the dance mix. So anyway, that's 1983. And there's the label. Tight Records. Pretty cool label on the record, but it's pretty good. It's a pretty good synth pop record. But that's by far the best song, "Walking in Shadows." But yeah. All right. 1981. This is Theater Diamonds on the Spirit label. They have this label as Power Pop and Discogs, and there might be a couple songs, but to me it's more like an AOR. Here's the guys, but here's the label. But it's kind of dated for that. I don't even know how to explain it. Just, that straight up rock and roll off the radio. Okay, so this one is Toby Red, A to Z. And this is good power pop, 1981. These guys were out of Detroit also. They had 2 full albums and a handful of singles. They played this on local radio out of Detroit. But pretty good power pop, and it's on Plastic Records. And then there's the boys. But yeah, catchy tunes. I think if you like power pop, you should probably look into this one. Pretty good. All right, from 2017, this is some Neanderthal Rock, Caveman and Bam Bam, Early Man. And you can see the guys there. Drummer and guitar, 2-man band. This is pretty good. There is some footage on YouTube for this band, and then here's the label. But it's just garage rock, primal, no insert on that. But yeah. Caveman and Bam Bam. All right. Now, 1995, the Monarchs. This is a 4-piece band with female fronted vocals. And I went to school with a guitar player right here, Andy Clayton. He still plays in bands around Ypsi and Ann Arbor. This is just really good garage punk. They're out of Ann Arbor. It's in mono, and they had 1 album, and I think they had 4 singles. But I think I got all the singles except one. And then here's the pin-up label. But it's good. It's very energetic. Energetic rock and roll. And he was in a few more bands. I'm going to show another one right here, which is Megahertz, MHZ, Harness the Power. And this is from 2003. High energy punk, garage punk, Ann Arbor, Michigan. They had 1 album and 1 single. And I've got the single, and it features action figure. And Andy Clayton, same guy I went to school with, he plays guitar and sings on this one. So it's really, like a 3-piece, I believe. But just high octane punk rock. And definitely worth checking this out. All right, and here's one. I just threw this one in. I don't know why, but I like the cover of it. The Automatics Night Rider. And This kind of looks like a Risky Business cover. It's a promo. It's on MCA Records, and this is from '83, and it's this could have been like a soundtrack for those cheesy '80 movies, like oh, what's that? All the Right Moves and stuff like that. But it's very dated, early '80s rock and roll. And then this one is on the MCA Records. But yeah, not a great spin, but all right, from 1981. This is one of those double twofer albums. And it's the Megahertz with Cat Tracks, and they were more of like a rockabilly. And then on the other side is the Cubes, which are more of a I compare them to like a excuse me, a lo-fi B-52s sound, you know. But Carolyn Streho, who was in the Cubes, she went on to Detroit Energy Asylum, and I have I got set all the thing on here. I do have a flyer here. There she, Detroit Energy Asylum. So that's pretty cool, but yeah, it's a pretty cool record. And there's the label. And then this has I think this folds out. Maybe not. Yeah. So there's the Megahertz, and then a little info, and then the Cubes. And it also had non-glossy. But yeah, pretty cool. All right, now 2013, the Mugs Full Tilt live at the Caju Cafe, the ugliest band in the world. This is really good rock and roll live. The Mugs. And this features the guitarist that went on to play for the Paybacks, which is right here, Danny. 2 record set live, but man, this guy, there's the label. This guy can just play the guitar, man. I mean, if you guys watched my my live shows when I put that Paybacks on, you understand the sound. And then speaking of, I need to get this record out there. The Paybacks Knock Loud, man. This is such a good record. And this features, which is right here, Wendy Case. And 2002. But just this hard rock and roll. She's got a voice you'll never forget. Yeah, Detroit. And then John Szymanski played with the Henchmen. Wendy Case was in 10 High and Boss Hoss, which I have a 10 High 10-inch up there. And this was on the Get Hip label. You can get this cheap. I suggest you get it. Comes with a color insert. Again, the Paybacks Knock Loud. Check that one out. All right. And then speaking of Szymanski that played in the Henchmen, here is the hold on a second here. Where did that? Let me get this record out here. Yeah, from their first album from 1994 on Norton Records, Ultra Hinch. Straight up garage rock. These guys played on stage with Jack White a few times. You can see that video on YouTube. It's on the Norton label. Ouch. But they had, I think they had nine albums and just a ton of singles. And we're getting down there, folks. And here from 1981, another power pop album, The Look, with their hit We're Gonna Rock. Out of Detroit, Michigan. They had 3 albums, handful of singles. And they also played this. They played at our homecoming dance, believe it or not. And then, but they also played on local Detroit station. I think Riff, WRF played them. It's on Plastic Records. And no insert. There's the guys. Good album. Catchy tunes. All right. And The One from 1980. This is a 10-inch record. Power pop. Voice. When I was listening to this, I couldn't place the voice, but it reminds me of the lead singer of the King Bees and maybe some Plimsolls thrown in there. Couldn't find a whole lot on this band, but they just did this one and done. And Fiddler's Music Company is the label. And this is, like I said, 1980 10-inch. Here's the guys. But yeah, pretty tasty. If you can find it. This one's harder to find. And then the last one I got here from 1989, See Dick Run. Now, this is pure power pop all the way through, out of Detroit. Very well produced. And they toured a lot, but I think this is the only thing they put out. But Jim Edwards, do I have that? Well, here first, See Dick Run, Whack Ding, kind of a lame cover, but these songs in here, Could It Be You, just pure power pop, catchy tunes. Should have been radio hits. Infatuated with Mary, Roller Coasters. But let me see if I can. This one, yeah, it's got an insert. Here's the label. Insert. Here's the label. What was that? Elementary. Yeah, out of Royal Oak. This was recorded in Ann Arbor, in Canton, Michigan. And I suggest picking this up. You can get this for $10 on eBay. But should have been way bigger than what they were. And anyway, here's I just read this online. It says, such is the case with the Hell Drivers. So there was this band that the lead singer of this group played with Jim McCarty from the Detroit Wheels, Cactus, Rockets, Mystery Train, drummer Johnny B. Badanjic, the Detroit Wheels, Alice Cooper and the Rockets, and the Howling Diablos. And then the bassist, Marvin Conrad, was in Mystery Train. And the frontman, Jim Edwards, was from See Dick Run. But yeah, if you get a chance, pick up this album. You won't be disappointed. So anyway, there you go. 10 years in the VC, and there's a bunch of Detroit music to check out. Thanks for watching. We'll see you soon.